So now we've heard about Catherine and we've heard about Christopher. You've got two more grandchildren, Jason and Lynne. Tell me a little bit about Jason.
Jason and Lynne are the middle ones now.
Well, Lynne's the oldest.
Lynne is the oldest.
But Jason, he was born before Lynne.
There were just two grandsons and two granddaughters.
Uh-huh.
And Jason was a quiet little boy, but he loved to be at Grandma's house too, especially at breakfast when I would make poached eggs for them on toast. And he and Christopher could just really down those poached eggs. I know one morning Christopher ate 5 poached eggs with 5 pieces of toast. I don't know how many Jason ate, but he just always looked up to his brother, so I'm sure he was sitting there trying to keep up. And Jason always, I think the youngest does look up to the oldest, even though sometimes the oldest gets the most attention because they're the first to do everything. And that, but Jason was such a good little boy and a lot of fun, and he liked to come in Grandma's house, and I had a toy box in one of the bedrooms. It was my office where I had my computer, and they play with their toys. Each one called it a different thing. One called it my library, and one called it my office, and I don't know which ones it was that called it the toy room. Wasn't a lot of toys, but it was just a box full of them. And
those two boys used to love to wrestle with each other too, I remember.
Yeah, you'd think they were pounding each other and being mad at each other, but they weren't angry at each other. They just loved to get on the floor and wrestle.
Yeah.
I think their dad was probably the one that started that with them.
He encouraged it.
Yeah.
Jason always seemed to look up to Christopher.
Yes, he did. He always, what Christopher did, he wanted to do too.
Uh-huh.
He loved his skateboard.
Uh-huh.
And I believe if there are any more bones in their bodies, well, the two of them would have broken them. Skateboards, and I don't know what, I think it was Christopher was on the skateboard and broke his arm. So he had a cast on, and his best buddy, Terry Braden, his mother had 3 little boys. The oldest one was Christopher's age. So she was taking him to Santee Lakes one day, and the boys got in these boats that you move by your feet, you know.
Mm-hmm. Paddle boats.
Pedal boats.
Mm-hmm.
Terry and Christopher got in that, and they, of course, went too fast and tipped over, and his cast got all wet. And poor Mrs. Braden, she had a hairdryer with her, and she was trying to dry it out and everything. So had to have that replaced. And but Jason was, he had his friends that liked to do the things he did too, so Christopher was off, doing something little bigger boys did. Why, Jason was fine with his friends too. He's got a lot of friends here in San Diego.
It's fun watching Jason with his kids.
Oh, and And with his wife, he is such a family man now. And I think he values the family air of our house and everything, because he sent me a picture, or Laura did. She sent me a picture of him sitting in the rocking chair that I had. And she says, Jason says that Grandma rocked him a lot in that chair. I didn't even know they had it, but I'm just delighted that they do, because I think it's in the right spot.
So that was the rocking chair that you used to rock Christopher and Jason in when they were babies, and now Jason owns that rocking chair.
Yeah.
I see.
And then when I had my 90th birthday reunion up in Salt Lake City, Jason put it in the back of his pickup and brought it in for me to sit in.
Oh, so that picture with for your 90th birthday, when all the grandchildren were around you, that's the rocking chair you were sitting in.
That rocking chair, Ralph brought home and surprised me with about 1976, because it's a rocking chair that was manufactured to look like the rocking chairs in the Revolutionary.
American Revolution.
Because that was 1776. And then so this, it was the centennial, bicentennial,
Yeah,
in 1996.
yeah.
And when Ralph came down to get all the tools and everything, he had that trailer and he had some room. And by that time we knew we were going into assisted living. And before long, we didn't go till 2005, but he went, so I had it, see, because Christopher was born in 78, so I rocked all of them.
All four of the grandchildren in that chair.
Yeah.
When we mentioned, you know, how much fun it is watching Jason raising children, brings to mind Lynn. You know, what a beautiful mommy she is with her two little girls.
Yeah. And Lynn had quite a growing up period. She's always been interested in dance. And she's, when you're around her, she's always dancing.
When she was a little girl.
Yeah. And
She was a great entertainer.
yes, she always had her stars ahead of her of things she wanted to do. And they let her go to different areas of the country where there was good ballet schools. I know she went to Colorado to one of those ski resorts that has a good school, and she went to Boston and stayed there for a while and studied her dance. And I knew that I would see the Nutcracker Suite every Christmas, because she was always in the Nutcracker Suite. And now she has her own dance studio, and she has her own two little girls to groom to be dancers. And they're just like their mother when she was little, like, especially Haley. Haley's the one that has a great-granddaughter here in San Diego. One of two, Haley and Lizzie.
Both Lynn and Catherine were in
Beauty pageant.
beauty pageants, yeah.
Yeah. Lynn was Miss San Diego one year, and Catherine was Miss Teenager.
Teen San Diego?
And the year that Lynn was Miss San Diego, why, she had a lot of different things that she had to attend, and
She ended the year by being in the Miss California pageant.
yes,
Yeah, I got to go to see that in person, and that was wonderful. She did a beautiful job performing a ballet for her talent. It's gorgeous.
yeah, I think she was one of the runner-ups.
I think so. Yeah, she's a great mom. It's fun watching her with her two little girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a story now with her and Haley.
Uh-huh.
I say Haley, and I'm thinking of Callie. You know. Oh, they were playing with the toys. They were strung all over like they usually do.
And this is who now?
They were at home with their mother.
Haley and
Haley.
Liz. Haley and Lizzie.
Yeah. So Lynn told Haley, you better pick up your toys now. And of course, picking them up isn't near as much fun as getting them out and playing with them. They
Right.
got so many. So she wasn't picking them up. So Lynn said, well, if you don't pick them up, I guess I'll have to take some of them and take them to give them to the little girl down the street who they're very poor and she doesn't have any toys at all. It backfired on her. Haley said, do I get to pick out the toys? Can I go with you when you pick? She was excited about giving this little girl a kid for a bunch of her toys.
That's sweet. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
So when Dion talks about how much fun it is to watch Beverly trying to talk now, why, she's got better things coming.
Yeah. You've got 4 great grandkids. They're really, really special to me as well. Getting to be an aunt to Christopher and Jason and Lynn and Catherine.
Yeah.
Nice kids. That's great. Thank you, Mom.